Long ago, before the roads were wide and before people measured success by the size of their houses, there was a small village resting on red earth. The village was quiet. Palm trees stood like guards around it, and every morning the sound of pestles hitting mortars woke the day. In this village lived a man called Obina. Obina was not lazy, he was not foolish, but life had been hard on him, very hard. Every morning before the sun fully opened its eyes, Obina was already awake. He worked on other people's farms, carried heavy loads, hunted small animals in the forest, and did anything that could bring food home. His hands were rough, his back often bent, and his clothes were old. Yet no matter how hard he worked, money never stayed in his hands. Some people said he was unlucky, others said his destiny was sleeping. But Obina did not give up, and the reason he did not give up was his wife. Her name was Uju. Uju was not loud, she did not complain much, she did not curse life. She was the kind of woman who believed that tomorrow listens to patience. When there was food, she cooked. When there was no food, she smiled and said, "We will survive today, and tomorrow will hear us." Many nights, Obina and Uju slept hungry. Sometimes they shared one bowl of gari. Sometimes they drank water and slept. But they slept together, and that gave Obina strength. Uju believed in him when no one else did. When people mocked him in the village square, she defended him. When he came home tired and angry, she spoke softly to him. When hope felt far, she pulled it closer. For a long time, that was enough. But slowly, quietly, something began to change. Obina started looking at other men. He watched his age mates build bigger houses. He watched them marry second wives. He watched their children leave the village to attend schools in the city. He watched respect follow them wherever they went. And Obina began to feel small. At first, he kept quiet, but bitterness grows faster when it is hidden. At night, while lying beside Uju, he complained. He complained about money, about life, about how the world was unfair to him. Uju listened. She always listened. She told him, "We may not have much, but we have peace." But peace started sounding like poverty to Obina. One evening, Obina sat with other men drinking palm wine. They laughed loudly. They talked about business, land, and money. Then one man said something that entered Obina's heart like poison. Some men are poor because their wives carry bad luck. The men laughed. Obina laughed too. But that sentence did not leave him. It followed him home. It followed him to bed. It sat in his thoughts during the day. Slowly, Obina began to look at Uju differently. When rain refused to fall, he blamed her. When work failed, he blamed her. When money finished quickly, he blamed her. Uju noticed the change. She felt it in his voice, in his silence, in the way he looked at her. But she said nothing. She continued being the same woman she had always been. One evening, as the sun was setting, Obina took a lonely path home. At a quiet crossroads near the forest, he met an old man he had never seen before. The man was tall and thin. His eyes were deep. His shadow moved differently. The old man looked at Obina and said calmly, "I know what you want." Obina froze. "I can give you wealth," the man said, "more than you can imagine." Obina's heart beat fast. "But wealth has a price," the old man added. Obina did not ask questions. Hunger had already taught him impatience. "What is the price?" he asked. The old man looked into Obina's eyes and said, "Bring me the one who gives you peace." The old man disappeared. That night, Obina did not sleep. Uju slept beside him, breathing softly. Obina stared at her face. He remembered the days she stood by him. He remembered her kindness. He remembered her sacrifices. But he also remembered shame, and shame spoke louder. 3 nights later, Obina told Uju and were going to see the elders. She followed him without fear. Trust was her weakness. They reached the forest. The old man appeared. The air grew heavy. The ground trembled. The old man asked, "Do you agree?" Obina nodded. Uju screamed his name. The forest swallowed her voice. By morning, Obina returned home alone. In his hut was a bag of gold. From that day, Obina's life changed. He built the biggest house, he wore fine clothes, people greeted him with respect, he ate the best food, he married another woman, then another. But peace did not return. At night, his house was cold, his wives feared him, his children did not love him, and in his dreams, Uju stood far away, silent, watching him. Years passed. One night, the old man returned. "It is time," he said. Everything Obina owned disappeared. Gold turned to dust, friends vanished, houses cracked. Old, poor, and alone, Obina returned to the crossroads where it all began. He cried. But wealth does not listen to tears. Love does, and he had traded away love. The wind whispered, "Some losses cannot be replaced." And that was the end of Obina.